Welcome to Your Sports Swindon. Here with Ragbarn golfer Matt Mumford, who's just qualified for the British Par 3 Championships. How you doing, Matt?
I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. So you've just qualified for the British Par 3 Championships. You must be delighted with that, because there's some big names in that field.
Yeah, I'm very happy with how I managed to qualify for the Par 3. I wasn't playing particularly well through the start of the season. I've had a pretty difficult road, but no, it's really picked up what was a bit of a lacklustre first season, but I'm very pleased, yeah.
Talk us through how you qualified for the Par 3 Championships. How did your qualification stage go?
So my dad told me that there was a Par 3 competition coming up soon. Did I want to play in it just to break the season up? Because I was playing a lot on Jamaica Tour. And I said, yeah, we'll give it a go. 4 people qualify out of 60, and through the turn I was level par, just thinking, I was playing okay. Then picked up a couple more birdies, finished 2 under, and saw my name on the leaderboard, and I was like, that's the first time I've seen my name up on a leaderboard. And luckily it managed to stay there for the rest of the day, and came third in the end, 1 shot off of winning. But yeah, managed to just about scrape third place, and that's how I qualified.
And then I think it's August the 12th, is that right?
Yeah, from August 11th to the 14th is like a stretch of 4 days as like a pro-am, and then there's my event, which runs alongside an amateur event, and there's celebrities coming as well. It's massive. I didn't realise how big the competition was, but it's on a massive scale. It's one of the biggest events in the UK that you can play in.
As you know, we were talking earlier that it would be really nice if you could win it, because you scooped £25,000, but there's some pretty hot competition there, isn't there? Yeah,
I mean, I'm not going to say I can't win, because I believe I can, but when you see some of the names like Paul Lawrie, former Open champion, and all the young LPGA golfers like Carly Booth and Charlie Hull, it's going to be a very tough challenge, but it's one that hopefully I can claim a few scalps and get my name on the leaderboard above theirs and see what happens.
I guess you go there with nothing to lose at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've got nothing to lose and everything to gain, haven't I? So I get to meet a lot of accomplished pros and a lot of pros that are just starting like me, but just on a bit of a higher scale. So it's going to be a chance to talk to them. Maybe they can pass me on some knowledge, and it's going to be a really fantastic experience for such an early stage in my career.
Yeah. Have you any idea who you'll be playing with on the day?
No, nothing as of yet. I mean, I don't think the draw is going to be done until a few days before, because there's still pros pulling out and confirming. So yeah, we'll have to see.
Who would you like to play with?
I'd love to play with probably Paul Lawrie. Obviously, he's like the face of it all, but I wouldn't mind playing with Ian Woosnam or Sam Torrance, like some of the more accomplished, like older pros, and because I think they're more knowledgeable and that. But I'd be pleased to play with anyone, really. I'm just excited to get out there and see what I can do.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic experience, for you, and I'm sure you're looking forward to it. Let's look back at since you turned pro earlier this season. How's the season gone for you, and how have you found life as a professional golfer? It's
been a very difficult transition from amateur. I mean, I finished my amateur career on one of the highest highs possible. I managed to win the club and men's champs at Ragbarn, and I was a Westwood Tour winner as well in the first year, and also did well in it last year. I've played in a lot of high-end amateur stuff, but as soon as I turned pro, you go from like the big fish, as you'd say, to the little fish in a big pond. And there's loads of guys my age gunning for the same prize. So it's been tough. I found it tough. I've not had much luck with weather. I've had a lot of rain and wind, but I think it's making me a tougher person and a more like ruthless golfer. And I'm not too affected by the wind and rain anymore. I just want to plough on through now.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of practice, presumably you've had to really step that up, and it's a daily thing to get down, putt in, chip in.
Yeah. We've me, my coach, and my dad. We've just set up a schedule now to really treat this as a full-time job now. 9 till 5, you've got to be at the golf club, and break in the middle for lunch and gym, and you've got to get the perfect balance to become what you want to be to progress. So to be the best, you see everyone's in the gym now, getting fitter and more stamina and stronger, and then obviously everything on the tour that I've played on so far is based around short game, putting and chipping. I probably strike it better than most pros, but when it comes to short game, they hole a hell of a lot more putts than I do. And you look at the scorecard at the end, they're 6 under, I'm level, and it's just because they've holed 6 more putts. So I know what I need to work on, and I'm lucky enough to be a full-time golfer, and I can put a lot of hours in.
Yeah. What are your aims for the rest of the season? You know, realistically, what do you think you can achieve?
I'd like to achieve a top 10 at the par 3, just because there's a lot of big money up for grabs there, like we said. I'd also like to see my name creeping up the leaderboard in some Jamaica events. It's a very, very tough school at Jamaica. There's some fantastic talent there, and just to see my name edging the leaderboard and getting in like the top 8 or top 10, maybe not getting paid, but just a few better finishes to boost my confidence, and then hopefully as we head into next season I can progress further and get top 5s and start getting paid more consistently.
Yeah, and eventually you'd love to win that Order of Merit at the Jamaica Tour and then step up tours, and then the dream is obviously the European Tour, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, Jamaica is a very good starters tour for myself and like I said, all the younger pros and that. Then obviously Euro Pros, just that slight step above, which leads to Challenge Tour and the European Tour. It's almost like the football like conference and Division 1 and 2 and whatnot. And yeah, just got to keep putting as much hours and practicing as I can, and I'll eventually climb the ladder. And the dream is to be a European Tour professional. I'm pretty confident I'll be able to achieve that dream one day.
How did you get into golf originally?
When I was about 5 years old, my dad was originally a snooker player, and he made a transition to golf just as I was born, luckily. And otherwise, I think I probably would have taken up snooker. But yeah, I was 5 years old, plastic clubs like most little lads, and was just swinging away in the back garden. Then when I was 6, I was already competing. I was playing in there's a competition called the Wee Wonders, which runs from 5 to 6 up to 11 to 12s, and qualified when I was, I think, 6 or 7 round the 9 at Highworth, and then I played in that every year. Then I joined Ragbarn, and yeah, just developed as a golfer really from quite an early age.
Yeah. So it's what you've always dreamed of doing, becoming a professional golfer.
Yeah, I've never looked at anything else. Even when I was at school, I was concentrating on exams, but I was more so thinking about getting out on the golf course to practice. Yeah. But yeah, golf's pretty much my entire life, and I've dedicated a lot of time and made a lot of sacrifices to be where I am now.
Yeah, sure. And this week at Rag, we've got the Junior Week going on, and you're just 20, and even you're saying that I wish they had the cadets. When I was around and I was playing at that age, it's a fantastic club here, and there's so many prospects coming through, isn't there?
Yeah, this golf club's probably the best golf club in the whole of Southwest, possibly England. And furthermore could be UK. I mean, there's no other junior section like Ragbarn. We say it time and time again. There's so many young juniors at a high level. I mean, a lot already at a higher level than I was at their age. And yeah, to have a cadet section, to really have that bottom tier to push you up the ranks, and the cadets see the younger juniors and they're like, oh, I want to keep practicing, then get my handicap, and there's no better club than Ragbarn to do that for them.
Yeah, and it surely won't be too long before we have a few rag players on the European Tour, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Josh at the moment on the Alps Tour, who's doing a fantastic job of putting Ragbarn on the map, and he's already won an event. He's doing really well. His brother's starting to progress as well, really well. And Selly's obviously, Martin Sell's a veteran of pro golf, and he's still searching for his breakthrough on the European Tour, but I reckon he's still got a good chance of doing that.
I mean, he's an illustration of how hard the game is, because he's got all the talent, and we said earlier, if he can just get on that tour, he'll stay there. But it's just getting that lucky break, isn't it?
It's so difficult, like to get from just a club pro to on the European Tour, 14 rounds of golf at European Tour school qualifying. You've got to have your A game for the entire 40 rounds, because you could shoot a couple 68s, and then if you shoot 180, you go from top 10 to completely wiped out, and that's your race ran. Unfortunately, it's so difficult.
Well, that's great. Well, Matt, thanks for joining us, and we wish you all the best of luck in the Par 3 Championships.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.